just but like, oh, what about like this whole New York thing, like the churches? I'd be like, tax them. Why not? Oh, they spread goodwill. There's other things that spread goodwill too. I'm just trying to open up a tax and get in front of people and start possibly creating, because it's the psychology behind churches. Like 9 times out of 10, they're preaching for you to be divided. They're preaching for you to believe in what they believe. It's okay, you can come practice it, but that don't mean that you're going to be exempt from taxes. It's a business. Like, no cap, it's a business. You have at the point. No cap. Yep, sure did. No cap. It's a business. Why you think they come in stunting like they do? You know what I mean? Oh no, I'm spreading the good word. Yeah. And you living a lush life too. And then you're preaching about living that lush life. And you doing it. You know what I mean? Like living in they say abundancy, but it's overabundancy, being overindulgent. You can overindulge in more than just food. You know what I mean? You can overindulge in things that you don't really necessarily need to survive or be a good person or spread. Oh, it makes me happy. So what about all the other things that you deem as sin that make you happy or make some other people happy? Should they just do it? No. It's a tax. I don't see why they don't. If it's divided from church and state, then the heck you not taxing it for? It ain't government. I'm like, we shouldn't even be in the whole realm of that. And you go to churches and you snub nose because 9 times out of 10 you know the vote. You get a pastor preaching about you voting for that person, and the pastor has a congregation. Next thing you know, you got the whole congregation pretty much swayed towards where you should vote. It would be a hands down. And then that whole like policing and court system, it doesn't make no sense how they let people like walk on certain things, how they don't have certain things in play, the checks and balances within it before it even gets to a certain level. Like you shouldn't even have to worry about somebody coming. Like I said, like New York has housing police. Why would you divide your police department up? Oh, so they can know how to handle housing. You're not supposed to be dividing and trying to know how to handle a group of people. What are you saying about that group of people that you're actually working with? You should actually have regular police that rotate. That way you don't have favoritism. That's the problem. When you have a certain police department that has certain police officers going to the same residence. I had that happen to me, and then at the end they're like, oh, we didn't know that something was really going on. Yeah, because you didn't listen. After the first time you had your ideal on the perception of me, and you ran with that from that point on. Like 9 times out of 10, that's why you should rotate and approach every situation with a judgment call. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what you get paid to do, to judge it based off laws that you're presented with and procedures that you're presented with, to be able to handle yourself with some sort of decorum and respect as you respect other people in the same sense and light. But he's like, oh, well, I want to make sure when I go, I know, the type of person get familiar. You getting familiar causes problems. You're not supposed to be familiar, first off. You're not supposed to be going to your house every other weekend to deal with you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not supposed to be telling you how to conduct yourself as a person. I should be coming there like every once in a while if something happens based off of something unknown. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, I know this guy. No. That's what you have the file for. That's why you take the ID, you go to the car, you run it, you skim through it, you try to get some type of guess. Okay, well, this person's probably going to be hostile. He has this record. That's what the records are for. Like, that was such a cop-out excuse of, oh, we have it because, it allows us to know the type of element. No. Mix them up. Up the hill, down the hill. Y'all need to switch. Why would you not switch? You know what I mean? So you can try to get some type of rapport with the person that sells drugs or doesn't sell drugs, or the community leader. Oh, no. You don't need that rapport when you're actually doing your job the way you're supposed to do your job. Why would you need a rapport? You do your job the right way, you don't need a rapport. I don't need to be like, oh, well, Officer McGillicuddy that always comes around and he works for such and such precinct. No, like every once in a while, switch it up. That way you don't get tired of the same old individual, or you get this misguided judgment call based off of you dealing with the same people all the time. And then you get a different change of respect. Like, I don't understand how a police officer wasn't rotating in the county or state that they live in. Yeah, you might have to work a little farther at a different precinct or have to switch up your route, but it also provides for safety calls. Next thing you know, you're the same police officer that always pulls somebody over. It's a less chance that you'll actually deal with somebody that is going to be mad at you or upset with the fact that you pulled them over last week or you dealt with them before. It's a new cop. You see what I'm saying? And you approach the situation differently. I would approach the situation with a new cop differently than I did an old cop based off the fact that I don't know him. If I see the same cop coming to me every freaking week, next thing you know, I'm going to be like upset and pissed. You guys are okay? But it's like you don't understand the fact of simple social psychology factors that relates to the people that you try to control or help, per se. Like you're not. You're just pacifying an issue, controlling it, and not necessarily fixing it. You're looking at it as, oh, we're doing good in the community. You're not. There's a lot of people that are viewed as racist white people are not even racist because you divide them. I'm sure a lot of white folks would be like, shoot, can we go stay in the hood? You know what I mean? Like sheep housing, like, you know what I mean? 30% of the rent. There's a lot of people that aren't actually making it like that are just stuck in the suburbs because of how things are. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, like you start mixing, allowing things to mix, you get a better overall. Like a lot of people aren't evil like that. A lot of people aren't that type of person. But with the system that you have, you perpetuate that existence, you perpetuate that emotion, you perpetuate a lot of different things. It doesn't make sense to me. Things are actually things are relatively easy. It's just you choose to make them hard. And they choose to make them hard off of personal, selfish wants, needs, and gain. Like you want to be that guy, or you want to be the one to fix it all. I'm like, I wouldn't even care about being put my name on a sheet of paper as long as, you know what I mean, I contribute and I'm earning my keep based off of contribution. Like, you ain't got to sign my name off on the name, but at least, you know what I mean? Like, look out for me looking at it. But some people want to be that person. It's like, want to be boss man, want to be big daddy. And I'm like, no, you gonna be little daddy in the background. You know what I mean? We're going to eat the same meal in the same restaurant. I'm going to get way less attention than you. You're going to have that stress. Okay. As long as we in the same restaurant, we put in the same effort. And in fact, a lot of people do want to contribute. That's another thing. That's a misconception, too. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, they just want to sit around and be lazy. No, they want to be able to enjoy and not be pressured of getting switched out their jobs once they get comfortable because you want to bring somebody else in, or you feel like they're making more friends on the job than you. Next thing you know, like, oh, well, I gotta get him out of here because he's Mr. Popular. Or he poses a threat. Because you're necessarily in a position that you should move up or retire from, but you sit there and hold it way past your tenure? Way past your time. Like, you can retire. Go to something else and start over and get dual. But let somebody else that's actually going up in the same, trying to go up and trying to get ahead. Like if you're working at Target, you're the manager, you've been a manager for like what, umpteen years. I'm getting my managerial and I want to be like the next Target manager, but you're just holding it. Like, dang, why are you holding it, bro? Like, you know what I mean? You can retire, take your retirement. Go on, let somebody else be manager because they've been working in this thing for this long. Or try to go up, and if you can't go up, then Or, maybe want to do something else. Oh, I worked that hard to get to that, da-da-da. Okay, that's good, but there's a lot of people behind you. There's a lot of people sitting in that thing waiting behind you while you getting comfortable and cushy. I used to hate that, working a job and always feeling like you're climbing, and all of a sudden it's like you plateau because you got a manager that doesn't really want to move up. And 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be butting heads with them because they don't want to move up and they're not trying to really advance you. But then I had upper management always trying to push me up, and I'm like, why is upper management, regional CEOs looking at me like, oh yeah, he should be manager. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, I'm getting X because of a stupid mistake. I'm like, dang. So the regional manager be like, oh yeah, we like him. Oh yeah, like Airmark, what was it? The airline industry, like you should go out for management. Da-da-da. My boss, the LA Fitness, you go out for management. I was already operational assistant, I guess, manager, but you should do management. And that was just some other da-da-da. But that's how the story goes with a lot of people. And you keep rotating in on jobs, and it's like, it's crazy. And do you really get to retire when you're rotating in on jobs? And some people that get caught in rotation. It's like, dang, well, I did this and I did this, like jack of all trades. It's like a jack of all trade type retirement. Oh yeah, this is called Social Security. Y'all talking about cutting that? Sure. So then what happened when you cut Social Security? Then all the jack of all trades gonna be looking like, oh man, we ain't got nothing to do. But you should have stuck with one, but it's easier said than done. Like, it's easier to be like a cop and stick to that because you have what? It's easier to work for the city. Like, anybody working for the city would say, oh, well, you should have stuck with it. No, baby. Working for the city is totally different from working with a private company. Totally different. You can basically, I've seen people, I read some files where I'm like, nigga, I'd have been fired instantly for that you pulled. I look at them dang files like, half of these city workers, y'all would not be working. Talking about some infractions and coming into a discipline office. Really? There's no such thing as discipline offices then at Target. There's a management office, then you're getting let go. You might get a little, write up or something. But you don't have no hearing. You don't do no dang appeal. You don't whoop-de-whoop, you don't lie, and then have the test to get on is easier than it is at the freaking management process at Target. The psychological test and stuff. I was like, what was that? Did somebody go take the test? Oh, I forgot what they call it. Like the civil servant test. It was like basically like a Microsoft Word. As long as you know how to do Microsoft Word, add numbers, click save, copy, paste. I was like, oh. So why were these? Because clearly I left. And that's how they said every time I would try, what? New York City would stick their nose so deep, some of them, so deep in mine. Now I wouldn't be able to breathe. But, gotta love it. That's personal. Wasn't not love it, but stuff happens. See how somebody comes into the conversation and ain't even supposed to be in a conversation. I'm over here having a voice memo and you walk in, actually just standing somewhere. Standing around listening with your ears to my mouth.